you work with. Twitter and Facebook and Instagram definitely all are based on your preference as a club and what speaks best for you guys. But Twitter is definitely easy to use and quick to notify people about the events that you guys are going to have or where it's at, and definitely basic information that they need to know at the moment.
Yeah, and going back to our last slide, it just depends on the members. So for my school, Torrance High, we use Instagram more than Facebook, but just make sure like it caters to your audience and maybe do like a poll like, hey, Edison members, like, do you guys like Facebook or Instagram more? And that way, I think you'll have a better kind of reach out to them.
YouTube is personally one of my favorite applications because videos definitely show a deeper level of what Kewins is and the events that we do. It's different from just saying, oh, come to our events and like just reading text. They actually get to see a visual of what you do and the spirit that is within service events that you guys have in Kewins, because that kind of thing, that spirit is really hard to I guess explain in words and in text and in pictures. So YouTube is one of the good applications to use as well. And again, all of this is definitely up to you guys. It is all based on your preference.
So responsibility on social media. If any of you guys are applying for any position, whether it be club, divisional, district, or even international, you're not allowed to campaign on social media. Be like, oh, hey, so-and-so is running for LTG. That results in immediate disqualification, and I feel like that doesn't correctly display your status as a Key Club member, because I think that creates like a level of unfairness too. And also on social media, we want to be safe key. Not sure if you guys have heard that term before. So Key Club International has like a safe key thing with it's like cyberbullying and like cyber safety. So we want to make sure that anything we put out on social media is responsible and correctly reflects us as a person and an organization. So networking, why do we do it? So networking reaches out to potential contacts. So you can use this in the real world if you're looking for a job, and you can find common ground with someone. So that includes like icebreakers. Say, hey Diana, like what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Oh my gosh, me too. So that creates like a little connection between you guys, and it's easier to talk and understand them. And one thing that Kewins really helps you with is networking, and you create these lifelong relationships with other members that you wouldn't even think you would know, like maybe from J Division up north, and it's just amazing.
Networking isn't just very beneficial in creating bonds, but it's also beneficial in like the business world, where let's say you want to set up an event and you have to reach out to Kiwanis to like set it up, and maybe you want to have a joint event with another club. And networking is definitely a skill that will benefit you in the long run.
So some of you guys may be thinking like, oh, wait, I've done this before. What do you guys have? So talking to club members, divisional, or district officers, anytime that you communicate with someone or maybe outside the district too, you're networking. You're getting to know another person and you're creating that connection. So you also do this with advisors and Kiwanians too. So say you need help for your club, you contact your advisor or your Kiwanis advisor, and once you reach out to them, I think that creates like a better connection that they'll be able to help you more as they understand what your purpose is. So you can also communicate with members of Kiwanis, so like Action Club or Circle K, Key Club, and Kiwanis, and that way you can create these relationships and they'll be able to help you with anything too.
Networking definitely helps your club grow and allows you to see maybe a different perspective of what service is, or again, like creating those bonds, which are very important and very crucial to service and what we stand
for. So any questions? All right, I have a question for you guys. How often do you guys public speak?
No.
What are some things that you think that can be improved upon when you like speak publicly in front of someone?
Probably fidgeting. I play with my hands.
Not saying or like. That's hard, but like.
Yeah, I think to help that, you have to be more knowledgeable about the subject and also kind of fake that till you make it. So the confidence and also, and also just slow down. Like think about what you're saying and how you want to correctly say that to the audience.
Personally, how I prepare for to public speak in front of a large crowd, usually I gather a bunch of my friends that are really close to me, and I just talk to them. And they'll correct me. They'll be real with me and tell me when I mess up, and they kind of help me and guide me to where I need to fix my personal speaking, public speaking. So that's one way you can become better at public speaking. Personally.
What about anyone else?
There's definitely other ways that you can improve in public speaking. Don't think that just because you can't public speak now, there's no hope for you. There's definitely hope for you. Because I used to be really afraid to talk in a large group of people. It just definitely takes a lot of courage and persistence, practice.
It's also good if there's a podium right here, and whenever
It does help, honestly. Yeah, it does. Do you guys have anything else to ask or say? I'm kind of interested. Where are you guys from? What division are you guys from? We'll start right there.
I'm from Jet.
Jet. Yes. Jet.
I'm from Diamond.
I know you.
Goldstone. Yeah, we're from Goldstone.
Goldstone. Jet. Yeah.
Are you guys officers in your club or looking to kind of gain more leadership skills?
Do you guys hold club positions?
No.
You tribal members?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Are you guys club? I know. Yeah. Are you guys club members as well? Or club board members?
I'm a historian.
Sorry. Yes.
One thing when you do public speaking is if you or or that kind of stuff too much, people like me count the number of ums and ahs and don't pay attention to your speech. So get rid of those. You don't need to use them. If you need a second to think of what you want to say, take that second. Don't say, okay? It's important because you want to get your point across. You know your subject. You just may need an instant or a second to say what you want to say, to think of the sentence you want to say. Take that second, as opposed to interrupting what you're saying with an or an or that kind of thing. Okay, it's very important because people, I will see you by the way you speak to me. If you're speaking to me like you know your subject, then I will respect that. If you're speaking to me like you're making it up, then I'll have to reevaluate what you're saying and how you're saying it. I think that's important for everybody to know for public speaking. Thank you.
Yes, as you know, I struggle with that too, and I used to be really bad at it. My legs would really shake, and I'd get all nervous. But I still have to work on it, as you can tell. And the more I practice, the more I get better. And I think that the more confidence you have in what you're saying, I think that really helps too. Yes, Mr. Michigan.
So when you're nervous, a couple of things that you can keep in mind, right? You have friends in the audience, and you're supposed to make eye contact with everyone. Find that friendly face that you look at, and that puts you at ease, and you smile because they're normally smiling at you, right? And if you're like me and you have no friends in the room, think of something funny, right? That happened, and in your mind, and that makes you smile. And that puts you on ease. So there are many techniques that you can use. Just don't show the nervousness. Because people who are listening to you and, like Mr. DeBoss said, evaluating you, that's part of the whole picture, right? If you lose your place, right, that's when most people fumble. Because they memorized it, they didn't bring cue cards, they're not looking at the phone, they lost their place, and that's when all those jitters start coming in, right? So what do? Do you think people in the audience know what order you were supposed to speak? They have no idea. So move on to the next thing. Don't look for that word or that whatever it is. Say the next piece, and then it will come back to your mind, and you can come back to it. You see what I'm saying? The idea is that you're not telling them that you messed up. They're supposed to walk out of there knowing that you're confident. Good? So imagine something funny now about Diana and Hannah and see if you guys can smile.
That was really fast.
My hair, I did a bun today, but I'm really bad at that. Any other questions you guys have about public speaking, networking, or just leading your club in general?
Are any of you officers in your clubs?
Yes.
How long did it take you guys to like get public speaking? Did you practice it?
Well, one of the things you have to do, public speaking, is be loud that everyone in the room can hear you. Right? It's called project your voice. So right now you ask a question, and maybe those two heard it, maybe a couple of people next to you, we in the back, I have no idea what you just said. Right? So for me to be engaged in what you're saying, I gotta be able to hear you. So let's try that again.
How long did it take you to like gain confidence and start practicing public speaking for you to be comfortable with it?
It took me a long time. Even then, I'm still learning, like Hannah. I don't think you ever stop learning to in public speaking. You can always learn more, and it's just like what Mr. Bashir said, knowing what to do when you get caught or when you lose track of what you want to say. So it's not about being, it's knowing what to do, basically. And I definitely haven't reached that point where I've accomplished and fully developed in that area.
Here's another hint, right? You want to be able to learn from your heart. We speak from your heart, right? So what do you need? You know what you're going to say, and you've thought about it. You've probably written it somewhere. You probably practiced it, right? So when you are speaking to an audience, don't have like 20 pages in front of you and flip each one. Make little bullet points, and that one word is going to trigger something in your head that you already know what to say about. And that comes natural for people, right? And they have a tendency to relate more to you, right? Other than somebody wrote something, person is just reading some stuff off the paper, not like that, right? So they have to feel like, yeah, they're hearing it from your heart. So always do that. And if you don't know, somebody asks you something or you don't know the right answer, what do? You make something up? No. Because there's somebody out there who knows the answer and they're paying attention, right? And it's going to come out as, well, I don't know what part of what this person just said to believe. So best thing to do is what? Own up to it and say, well, I don't know the answer to that question yet, or I'm forgetting it right now, and I'll definitely make sure to refresh myself and be able to answer it when I see you next. That's a much better approach than saying, when I was out there, the sun was out. I don't know. Was it? Right? You're not sure, right? You're not definite. You say, well, let me walk out. That's okay too. Let me see if the sun is out. That's more honest and direct. But know your material before you actually speak about it. Cool?
Going back to your question, I feel that last year I served as a president for my club, and I had to speak probably 2 times a week. So one for general meetings and one for board meetings. And I think that exposure of just constant meetings and speaking in front of people gave me more confidence, and also having an agenda, so knowing what you're going to talk about in the meetings kind of helps you stay on track. Does that answer your question? Yes, Mr. Kumar.
One thing that you touched on, and I didn't feel like it came across 100%, but it's important that you have correct posture when you're giving a speech. You want to stand up straight. You don't want to stand like this, you know. Stand up straight and project to people. You can't project if your lungs can't get full of air. So you project out, you say your piece, and when you stand up straight, you always feel more comfortable than when you slouch or when you sit down in a desk like this. It's very hard for you to speak when you're doing that. When you stand up straight, you can give a speech, you can project out, you can give it to all the people in the room. And one thing they always say is speak to the furthest person away in the room. That way, that person will hear you, and all the other people will, of course, hear you as well. And always talk to the furthest person away in the room, like me. Thank you.
And if you're like in the front, right, sometimes you are asked a question or you are asking the question. So you think your voice is, you can speak loud, but it's not really projecting back to these people, right? So a little hint is, instead of facing directly in front of you, just turn a little sideways, right? Like I am right now. If I speak, my voice is going to project to all of you, instead of if I was standing here and saying something to the wall, you guys probably won't hear me, right? So a little change in your stance, and people can hear you. Not sure. And I learned all this from those two standing up there.
Another way I combat kind of that nervousness I feel with other people is reaching out. So maybe a goal for today would be meeting someone new, kind of putting yourself out there, using that networking, that public speaking skills, and that could be your first step for the week. And maybe do it next week, the next day, and keep continuing it. Any other questions? Miley, is there questions?
No.
Yes, Mr. Lamar.
One thing we spoke about was networking. Networking for me is scary because I know I'm an introvert. I'm not the type of person who goes out and meets everybody in the room and shakes hands with everybody. I'm kind of quiet. I stay away from the crowd. And a lot of you are probably like that. I see a nodding head a little bit here. So to network, you have to get out there and put yourself out in front of people. Take a chance. You know, I learned this in an elevator. Not long ago, actually. I got in an elevator with some other person in the elevator, and you're like this. You know, and the other person's over there doing the same thing. And I said, "Hi, how you doing?" She said, "Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?" What? She actually talked to me? You know, you have to say hello to people before they want to talk to you. "Hello, I'm Mr. Navar."
Hi, my name is Jamie.
There you go. Okay? It's not that hard, but it's hard for some people like me. And just get out there and say hello to people. Networking is great. The word networking is a little scary because you say, well, you know, what would I have in common with you? But maybe, who knows, maybe I have something that could be good for you. Maybe I'm not really, suppose I was an administrator at college. You might say, oh, well, it's nice to meet you. I'm thinking about going to college, you know, that kind of thing. So there's almost always something that you can have in common with someone that you meet, say hello to. But you got to reach out to him and say hello. That's important, especially in that one.
Yes, that also ties in with the finding common ground point we had. So icebreakers, anything, the college scenario that Mr. DeBar said.
I definitely agree. It only takes a question to really start a conversation with someone. It just takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there.
Do you have any tips of like the conversation starts becoming like more awkward?
That's a good question.
Is it for someone you don't really know or someone?
Either.
Well, I think nothing's wrong with a little silence. It doesn't have to be awkward if you don't make it awkward. So just make sure you're still listening, and if they wanted to say anything, you could be bringing up, oh, what did you think about this, or anything special for today? What are you up to? Just that kind of stuff, and that way that puts both of you at ease, and they could see if they want to continue the conversation, and if not, that's not your fault. You did what you could. Any other questions? Thank you for listening. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I have my email and my number here if you would like.
This is a good example of networking, right? Definitely reach out if you have any questions or concerns. We're open to it. Don't be afraid to ask.
We're both experienced in club, district, and divisional sports. So any questions you have, just let us know.
So it looks like we have a few minutes. Can each of you stand up and say who you are and how involved you are in Keylands? Starting up in the corner. Stand up, say who you are, your name.
Can you repeat what you said?
Stand up and say who you are and how you're involved in Keylands. Are you a club officer? Or
My
a new
name's
member?
My name's Brian Pham, and I'm a general member.
General member, okay. Are you planning to run for an office this coming year?
I want to run for appointment board in my club.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I'm just a general member, but I want to apply for a publicist in my club.
Okay, great. That's good. And just a general member doesn't count, okay? Just a general member is is nothing. You are a member. I'm a member of this club, okay? And you're not a general member, because that's like, what's a general member? Follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, be positive.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. I'm a member, and I want to apply for publicist.
Publicist, okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sienna, and I'm just a member, but I want to apply for publicity.
Okay, Sienna, I'm going to pick on you. Can you stand up and say it a little louder?
I'm Sienna. I'm a member, and I want to run for publicity.
Okay, good, thank you.
Hello, my name is Jude. I am not only a member, but I'm also a recording secretary from my division, and I want to run for president for next term.
Very good.
So, hi, I'm Nathan, and I'm currently the historian for my club, but I would like to run for the divisional media correspondent next term.
Thank you. Now, you all know each other, right? You just kind of all met each other. Did you know each other before you came in here? Did you know each other before? Okay, good. At least you've had a chance to get to meet somebody new, and the rest of the day you can say hello to that person. If you see him another one of these breakout sessions, hi, how are you? Okay, thank you.
I was publicity too, sophomore year. That's fun. Although I wish I could learn those gifts they do. Like, those are really nice. And then Pauline does them.
Pauline is really good at
Graphics are so
that.
good.
Yeah.
I just use Canva. And historian. Ooh, those ARFs. God, can those ARFs?
Yeah, it's good. Those areas. I'm kind of interested to know what attracted you to Keylands.
My friend told me to join, and I ended up staying because I thought it was fun, and I like volunteering.
For me, my friends introduced me to Cubans the end of the year, and then when we were walking around, I saw them and they were just really energetic and had a lot of spirit.
I was just interested in the community you guys have built where it's really supportive for each other.
My friend introduced me to the club, and with all the events that I was seeing was happening, I wanted to participate in it.
What really introduced me to Keylines was that since middle school, I followed high schoolers that I knew, And I'd always see like pictures of like fall rally or decon or just like volunteer work, and I've always been interested and like I was like, ooh, what is this? Like as of course like a seventh grader or like a sixth grader, I was like, ooh, like I don't go here, but I want to get involved and really join, and that's why I was like really excited to graduate quote unquote middle school and just be a freshman and join Kewins. So when I realized it was Kewins, I knew that I had to join.
So for me, one of my friends told me to go to an event, and there I bonded really well with a lot of the board members, and I think they were part of the reason that made me stay.
I love Kewins for that kind of Ohana feel we have. I think that it's unique just to our organization. And something that drew me to Kewins was when I was a middle schooler and my older brother was in high school. He did the roast floats, and I was like, whoa, John, you did the roast floats? That's so cool. And then he started writing to me like, oh yeah, I'm part of this like really cool club. We do roast floats and a bunch of other stuff. And I was saying, oh, I want to do that too. And then I ended up doing it. So here I am now.
For me, it was kind of random. At our school, Kewins really stood out because they had this really large tent, like a canopy, I mean, and it really drew me close to the club because there were also a lot of people in that booth. So for me, it was just I kind of wanted to try something new freshman year, and I wanted to just explore high school and see where it takes me. And I stayed mainly the same reason for what a lot of you guys have said of friendship and the bonds that you make. That definitely brings you up, takes you a long way into this, I would say, journey, even though that's kind of cheesy to say, because the people and the bonds that you create with other people, you never know who's going to support you. You never know where you and your group of people will go in the long run. You may know each other even after high school, which is incredible. So,
Yeah, Diane and I just met last year almost.
yeah, we
and-
met at a wake-a-thon. It was great.
And now we're buddies, serving our division and districts.
And when it comes to Kewins, distance isn't an issue. It really isn't. You can make friends all the way from San Francisco or like all the way down in San Diego, and it's incredible what networking and social media can like do to bring people together.
Then, so district board is spread out all throughout California, and even though I saw them last week, like I still feel like I haven't seen them in forever. So it's like it's always nice to see them, you know.
Yeah, it's been
That's why I love the district events too, like Defone and Awake-a-thon, Fall Rally. Because you're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, how are you and stuff. So that's also networking too. Relationships. What's your guys' favorite district event? Like, we have that one event that made us more involved in Kewins. Like, oh wow, I really love this club. Like, you guys have an event like that in your heart? Yes, Jean.
I would say fall rally, because like when I was a freshman, of course, I got really introduced to Kewins of like the spirit and like more of the meaning, and learning the chants is really fun too. And I met a lot of new people during fall rally, and of course like freshman year we won the spirit sit, which was really nice, and just seeing like how much love and like laughter there are within each division, and seeing the division, like seeing I guess different divisions at knots too. Like for example, like we every time we would see a new division, we would always ask them how they were, but then they lost their voices. So every time we'd see them, we're like we got you. You don't have to, say or ask because you know that they lost their voices. So I met a lot of new friends and I made new friends. So that's why Colorado has a special place in my heart.
I definitely agree. Fall Rally does have a big place in my heart too. It was one of it was my first district event, and at Fall Rally, you just see how big CNH is. And that's not even all of CNH, that's just the South, especially really, yeah. And it's just insane how much of an impact we can make together. It's very mind-opening to go to district events.
That's the same for you guys, like Fall Rally, was that Fall Rally? My favorite was Decon 2016. I think.
Oh yeah,
That was
I
so
agree.
fun.
That was really fun. Decon was really fun.
Yeah, just like seeing people for 3 days straight, you don't get tired of them, and like all that spirit and energy in the room, it's just amazing.
Decon, you don't sleep, but it's worth it because you literally sleep. Well, it depends. Some people sleep for like 3 hours, and some just don't sleep at all. But it depends on who you're rooming with. You guys can be really crazy when you're in your room.
And you guys can choose your roommates. You guys know that? Yeah. Go to Decon
Go to
2019.
Decon, yeah.
I room for the same people for 3 years. I won't get to room with them this year. Yeah. Any other questions you guys have, or anything you guys want to know?
Does everybody here know what decon is? All shake your head, yes? Okay, good. But sometimes you say decon and people say, oh, I heard the word decon, but I don't know what that is. This is a convention coming up in April. We'd like to see everybody there.
We all good? Alright, thank you guys for coming.
Right now, snacks. So
Yes. So don't forget that goal, meeting someone new today.
that should be a goal for every event.